Yo, you know what it is. It's your boy Trevor David Jones back up at it. And as you read in the title, I'm doing the review of NieR Automata, the anime, Season 1, Episode 1, or Not to Be. I'm gonna start off by saying this. This show is tight. It's tight! It's legit. They could have easily, just mailed it in and did a video game tie-in of the standard variety, but it's more than that. It's great. So let's jump right in. The positives. Just to start off with, the animations are just dope. The show is fluid. Like I said, they could have just mailed it in and just did a video game tie-in, but they didn't. This show is great. Every single frame was just beautiful. The colors, the black and gray aesthetic, just the way the characters looked. It's all dope. And that fits right in with the drawings. The drawings themselves are very good. True to life, true to the video game source material, which leads me to my next point. 2B looks pulled straight out of the video game. She looks great. I mean, it just looks good. They could have just phoned it in. I know that's the third time I said that, but forget about that. It looks great. And that's what you want. With any sort of tie-in or, extra property, you want it to feel like they care, like they drew from the original material. That's why you're watching it or viewing it or playing it or what have you, is because it's based on the original, which you liked. Everything looks straight from the original. It's great. So shout out to the producers. Platinum Games, always top of the list. But guess what? It got to the end of the episode and I saw Square Enix. Square Enix is one of the producers. That's the pedigree of quality. It's Square Enix. If you watch my videos, you know my favorite 3 video game companies are Platinum Games, Square Enix, and Capcom. So you've got Platinum Games and Square Enix working on a property together. That's 2 out of 3 of my video game producers going ham. Of course it's dope. So shout out. This is awesome. And yeah, man, you got Square Enix on the team, high quality. So yes, positive, but also kind of funny when they would show the 3D flight suit model and they'd show like 2B, because they couldn't put a cartoon in there. So it's a 3D model as well. That 3D model of 2B inside that flight suit is the funniest part of the episode. I know it's not meant to be funny, but it just is. She looks almost like the old school Green Army men, the little toys. If you watch the episode, just pay attention to that model when she goes into the flight suit. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's hilarious. Okay. The fighting was great. 2B's first major fight is against a bunch of the bots, just little robots, the circle trash can ones. And it's just, man, this goes right hand in hand with the animation. It's just beautiful. Fluid, you feel the impact. They put some work into the show. That fight was dope, man. Y'all know I watch these shows at like 5, 6 in the morning. I watch them to get hype. And I got hype. It was super dope. The kinetic impact of all the hits. The fight was great. It showed 2D's power. And in addition to that, it showed the power of that pod she's with. I've played the game, but only to a certain point. I'll get to that in a second. But that pod is strong, man. That pod is strong. It hit those things with a nuke. Like, actual power. And then it cools down. It's like, 13-hour recharge. They threw the comedy in there. A little bit of lightheartedness. A little bit of levity. That's what you want in a show. So it's got that aspect going. But shout out to that pod because it's strong. And shout out to the writers for the comedy. So 2B eventually makes a comment. I believe it's when 9S shows up. But she makes a comment. She's like, is there something more? Blah, blah, blah. Is she a human? Like, is there something else going on with her? I've only played the game to a certain point, NieR Automata. It got a little too creepy. I can't remember the exact part, but it got a little bit creepy. But those of you who played the game, you likely know, what the full story is. And I know there are multiple endings, but you know what's going on. But for those of us who haven't played the full game, like, is she just a straight up android? There's something else, bless you, there's something else going on with her existence. And I think maybe she's part human. I'm not sure, but something's going on with 2B, but we'll find out. So they go forward to the Goliath class, the big, huge robot with the saw hands. And yeah, like I played that part of the game. It looks like it's pulled straight from the game. It looks great. Really got me into it. It's a dope show. So 9S eventually shows up and he helps her fight the Goliath class. And 9S is OP, man. They make it feel like he's kind of like a little clown. What's he doing here? Nah, he's ready for action. He's ready for the fight. He's got the missiles. He saved 2B like twice, He's OP. He ended up getting class himself, but before that moment, my man was OP. I like that. And so after their fight, which they use the black box reaction just to blow the things up, they go back to the ship in orbit and they're both there. So 2B remembers everything, but 9S has some missing memories right at about the time he met her, I believe. And yeah, so I'm guessing that there are clones, like they have extra bodies that they can just send out for battle. If these are androids, why not? Just send them out there. But each one has like different capabilities, different personalities. So, there's not just one android they have that can do everything, or one type. They make different types. And I guess they have X amount of bodies of all of them. Again, I only played the game to a certain point. Those of you who play the game, you know what's going on. But I'm learning, episode by episode, as the people who are watching this show for the first time are. So from what I can glean, they've got a basically unlimited supply of these bodies that they can send to do multiple things and just upload the memories. But I can't really fathom the resources necessary to do that, because even if you can make an android, even just one, how many of them can you make? That seems like a complex organism. An android? Making one is a monumental feat. For instance, in Marvel, there's only one Vision. There's not multiple. Who knows some of the materials it took to make that thing, the process. So, but yeah, I'm guessing these have multiple bodies they can send into battle and do what they need to do, which is, if you can pull that off, why not? Shout out Kunjutsu. That's what makes Naruto so strong. One of the reasons he's so strong. So yeah, shout out to multiple bodies. Cloning yourself. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so the ending. Oh man, the post credits. They had the cloth puppets that were delivering the little, post episode wrap up / they were saying they're going to show all the endings in the show. Man, that part was awesome. It was awesome. Shout out to the creators. It was awesome because it reminded me when we were kids, where shows weren't just opening, show closing, or video games weren't just like bare bones. They had stuff in the video games that you didn't even need, that you would never play, but it was in there. It made it feel full. This show, those little ending with the puppets, getting the chills. It took it back to when we were kids, man. Where shows had these little extra elements, different things that didn't necessarily have to do directly with the plot or this or that, but it made the show feel full. It's emotion, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. The little puppet ending, it was dope just on its own, but it took me back to when we were kids and shows just had more. So that was awesome. Room for improvement. This rarely happens. It's only happened a couple times, and it was with My Hero Academia. Nothing. I can't pull out any single element from this episode. It's just like, oh, they should have done this better, or it should have been this or that. It was just great. It was a solid episode. The animations, the drawings were all there. Felt like it was pulled straight from the game, the heart, the emotion. It was just sick. So I definitely enjoyed it, and it gets my rare no room for improvement, like legit. That may not last the whole show. It probably won't. But for this episode, for sure, man, no room for improvement. The rating. I was going to give this episode a 4 out of 5, just a solid 4 out of 5, because there was nothing wrong with it, and it was dope, The animations were there, the drawings themselves, 2B looked great, 9S, OP, you got class, but it was just great. But what gets this episode a rating of a 5 out of 5, yes, a 5 out of 5, were those ending puppets. That took it to something more than just a standard episode of anything. It made it like it was when we were kids. That's extra care. And it was dope. The little puppets themselves look great. So for rounding it out and having all those elements that just make a property, art, a 5 out of 5. Shout out Platinum Games. Shout out Square Enix. You know what I'm saying? They're on the squad. That's what's up. And that's it. That's it. Episode 1 of NieR Automata, an anime which frankly came pretty much out of nowhere. I remember seeing, not the trailers for it, but announcements for it in my feed on YouTube and being like, did anyone even ask for this? Doesn't matter. It's here and it's great. Maybe we needed it. It's super dope. Highly recommend. I just gave the first episode a 5 out of 5. Boot up your Crunchyroll subscription and watch this anime. It's great. It's sick. So that's it. Watch my Hero episode 14, season 6, episode 14 review I just did. It was a recap episode, but it's getting us back into the season. All for One is up. He's plotting, he's scheming as usual. The episode itself was dope. It's My Hero. Bless you again. It's always going to be dope. All I ever say with My Hero is just check it out, boot up your Crunchyroll subscription and watch it. If you're watching one anime at all, it should be My Hero. Watch more than one anime, but if you had to chisel it down to one, it's My Hero. It's a great anime. It's always dope. There we go. I started a TDJ Recommendations down in the description of YouTube. Very powerful aspect of YouTube. Got to make sure to use that. Right now in my recommendations, I've got Google Fi. I'm not sponsored by them. But use it. It's in my opinion, it's the best cell phone service. Check it out. My referral code is down there. Keep it for 30 days, which if you try it, you will keep it. You get $20 off your bill, you get $20 off my bill. It's great. You can sign up for the service, get your little phone. Just check out the options. It's Google Fi. It's great. And also Dislike, a cell phone game, a mobile game. Who would think I'd have a mobile game in my recommendations or even a playing one? But Dislike is just sick. when I booted it up, man, the graphics, just dope. Get that game. It's one of TDJ's recommendations. Again, not sponsored, just get it, it's sick. And with that, that's all I got for y'all, man. That's all I got for y'all. It's sunny outside. Feel good, be good. And like I always say, stay up, because I genuinely mean that. You don't want to be going this way in life, okay? Not this way, stay up. And until next time, which will be very soon, we're gonna have some fun together. Review some anime, review some Imaginist culture. Some Legos, we're gonna have fun. I'ma see y'all at that point in time. Peace!